So today we're having a look at overwintering our geraniums. We can see now the leaves have started to turn, and with the end of September, frosts are due quite shortly. So we're going to have a look at our geraniums and we're going to overwinter them. And there's several ways we can overwinter your geraniums. So I'm going to show you how you can save your geraniums for next year and regrow them again in the spring. So this is one of our geraniums. We've got 3 in a large tray. This has been sat in the garden and it's been flowering quite nicely. We've been deadheading them and now they've come to the end. So the first thing I'm going to do is to remove the kids' toys. So I'm just going to grow down and we're going to dig out the whole of the root system of this plant. If you've got your geraniums in a big pot, we can just do some of the procedure and move the whole pot inside. But because I don't want them in these trays for the following spring, I'm going to take them out and re-overwinter them. So I'm just going to dig down and take a clump of the roots, and there we go, and that's our geranium. We don't need any of the soil, so I'm just going to knock off the soil so it goes back in the pot. There we go, and we've got a nice clump of roots, and that's our geranium plant. I'm just going to move this box and then we can see what we're doing. So this is our geranium plant. You can see there's still shoots coming through, but as soon as the frosts come, it would just die off completely. So what I'm going to do is going to go through and removing any of these dead leaves, the dead stems, just pulling them off, and any flowers, removing, going round, checking, removing any diseased or dead leaves, and any flowers that are growing we don't want no longer on the plant, and we're just going to snap the flowers off, and then we're just going to check for any dead leaves, any dead stems, and if there's any dead stems we can cut them off with our clippers. So that's looking good. Also looking underneath, seeing if there's any aphids. Some maybe aphids on this one, so I'm going to remove that leaf. All the leaves, and that all can go back in the compost. And there we go. So one of the methods, and it's quite simple and easy, is to have a paper bag, probably a bigger paper bag than this, but this can be used and as an example, and we place our geranium in a bag. It has to be paper and not plastic. Plastic will make it sweat. And then we could just close this up and hang this up, make a note, geranium pink, hang this up in a cold, dry location, and that will be done. And then we can wait, just check every 2 to 3 weeks Just check there's no diseases. And there we go. Just pull in a paper bag and hang up to dry. You can also do the same using a cardboard box. Place 2 or 3 of your geraniums in the cardboard box. Don't completely seal it, just close it, leave it in the garage or in the shed a few weeks just to check if there's any diseases, and they'll be just as good in the box. But we're going to do overwintering ours in our greenhouse, and these are going to stay in the unheated greenhouse. So the process I'm going to use for this is just using a small pot, and we're going to put some compost in. You could trim off these roots if they're too long. And we're just going to place it back in a pot. In the pot, in some compost. And this is just going to sit in the greenhouse. Keep an eye on it. So if all the leaves fall off and just leaves the stem, then that's fine. It will still regrow. We could just put this on a windowsill and have it for an indoor plant. But we're going to put ours in the greenhouse. So I'm going to go through and do the remaining geraniums. So I just had to, just going to add a little drop of water to the compost, and then this won't get watered again until next spring. So keep going to check it. Doesn't matter if the leaves fall off, it will still regrow. There's loads of nice little growths on there, and that'll grow. You could take cuttings of it, and put them in a pot, and you can grow that for the following year. So I'm going to continue with the rest of my geraniums. For deadheading, we just snap in the compost, remove, We don't want the stems because they're going too tall. Just be careful of any tall leaves. We don't want the plant rocking about. Remove the stem, just pinch. And that's a simple way of deadheading the flowers. Pinch. There we go. All looking good. No dead stems. So we take our pot. And we stick it in. There we go. Nice easy job before the frost sets in. So let me know in the comments, how do you overwinter your geraniums?